Roadside RC Troy here. So we have Redcat Thunder Drift, MST RMX drift cars. I've been really surprised ever since I put this Redcat Thunder Drift out. Bunches and bunches of questions around two things. One, if I put rubber tires on it, what happens? If I put rubber tires on just the front, if I put rubber tires all the way around, how does the car handle? What does it do? How does it drive? All right, so hey, look at that. Easy enough. We have a friend, Daniel, from our drift night that hooked me up with some rubber tires, a couple sets actually, so we are going to definitely be able to put this to the test. The other question that people ask, number two on that item is, hey, if I buy something like this and I don't really like it, can I use it as a touring car instead? Okay, so again, that's the whole concept. Take the plastic tires off to put the rubber tires on. Can I use it as a touring car? And so what we're going to do is we're going to test that with this, but we'll also test it with the MST RMX, right? And then that way you'll have an idea of, can it be a touring car? Would it work in some kind of fashion like that? So the Redcat Thunder Drift, all-wheel drive, obviously with the drift tires on it, felt about like what we would expect from previous, pretty decent drifting, sliding around, having some fun, fairly controllable. When we went to just the front rubber tires, it was basically useless. I mean, the rear end of this thing, there was such a discrepancy in traction front to rear of this thing that it was basically uncontrollable. It's literally like a comical car. Like, rubber front tires, drifting rear tires, bad idea. Going to all four being a rubber touring car tire was actually pretty fun. I mean, I'll be honest, this thing drove great. We've had a Tamiya TT02. This thing would run circles around that Tamiya TT02 as it sits right here. The design of the chassis and everything handled so much better. It was very controllable. It was very fun. I would say that this is definitely a keeper when it comes to, sometimes I want to slide around, sometimes I want to drive faster. Definitely a thumbs up in this book. So now, onto the actual drift car, and let's see how it does.
It's faster than it looks, so.
Oh, of course, super fast. Have to be careful not to destroy the zip or anything. So the MST drift car with all rubber tires on it. So first when it went to just the front rubber tires, the car actually liked it pretty well, because if you drive a rear-wheel drive drift car, you'll realize that 90% of driving one of these cars is the throttle and controlling the rear of the car. So putting rubber tires up front honestly didn't make that big of a difference. Biggest issue I had was that the offset is different on these wheels, so that when I get to full lock, it would actually touch and lock up a tire. But that's just because these obviously aren't the ones that you choose for it. However, basically you put rubber front tires on this thing, made almost no difference. A little bit easier for turn in, going into a corner, of course, but otherwise pretty much the same as what you'd expect otherwise as a normal driving. When I put the rear tires on it, it became very entertaining. So two-wheel drive, lightweight chassis, brushless with some turbo and some boost in there, the thing would just fly. And in fact, I very rarely even ever got to full throttle. Suspension on this is super duper soft for drifting. I mean, just crazy soft. So as it would corner, you'd actually see it lean over, like because no sway bar, super soft suspension, you'd actually see the thing lean over. That was pretty fun. Of course, well-handling chassis, so get off the gas, tap the brake a little bit, the thing would just come right around and go back the other direction. So overall, again, between the two of them, between the Redcat and between this, you can have fun either way. Both of them are a blast. Use them with the drift tires on it as you normally expect. Have fun. If you want to buy a cheap set of rubber tires to throw on it occasionally to have fun and to go faster, you can, as it turns out. You can do it with either one of them. So can they be a drift car? Can they be a touring car? Sure. Is a drift car going to be a really good touring car? No, it's probably not going to be. And the same thing vice versa. If you have one that's truly set up to be a touring car, it's probably not going to be a very good drift car. But can you play with both of them and have fun? Sure can.